What is up, my fellow mobile gamers? In today's video, we got our best class guide, the best classes in the game for Dragon Trail Hunter World. Subscribe to the channel, thumbs up this video for more amazing mobile gaming content. We're going to go over all of the classes. We're going to go over which class puts out the most damage. We're also going to talk about the different perks, which class would be best for you. Overall, in this game, the classes are pretty much balanced. There's very small differences between the four. Now, first, I know what you're all here for, the coupon codes. Our sponsor, AppGallery, has some amazing things going on. They have an exclusive coupon code for in-game rewards. Also have coupon codes that will save you money on in-game pack purchases. I'm going to show you how much money you could save through AppGallery and also show you how to download it and install it. We have our daily gift code. You can claim these every 24 hours. You can enjoy up to 40% off in-game pack purchases. You can get a €2 coupon code that is valid for purchases over €4.99, a €3 coupon code, and finally a €10 coupon code as well. Also, AppGallery will have an exclusive gift code that will be available after August 25th, 2022. We have a lucky draw wheel only for Italian users. AppGallery also has its own personal Discord, which I highly suggest you join so you can get additional information on upcoming and current campaign events going on. We're going to go to the website. We are going to click download and install AppGallery. Then for selecting a country, make sure you put Italy no matter where you live. We're going to sign up using an email address. We're going to create one. Then we are going to do verification with our phone number. And then we are in. There it is. All of your favorite apps, your mobile games. The best part about it is the rewards and the gifts. Rewards are when you spend money in the game, you'll get a kickback, and then gifts. We have gifts for all of these different mobile games, which are exclusive that you can only find on AppGallery. All right, my friends, this is going to be a good video. I've got some ridiculous notes that I took. This isn't like your typical tank warrior, what you would expect in a lot of MMORPGs. In fact, pretty much all of these classes, they don't really go off of like the typical play style that you would expect when you do play other types of MMORPGs like this. Usually like the warrior is beefy and tanky and has stuff like taunts and stuff, but it's not like that in this game. And then the priest is also very different. A lot of people picked the priest thinking this was a healing class, but in fact, this isn't a healer at all. This is actually our mage class. Now, all classes have the same exact cooldowns for their skills. They have 6-second cooldown skills, 8 seconds, 11 seconds, 13 seconds, and then they all have one big skill that is a 17-second cooldown. As opposed to the ranger, which their big special ability has a 21-second cooldown, which we will go over in a second. So every class has one skill that will do a stun, and every class has one skill that will do a slowing effect, slowing down the opponent's movement speed. However, the warrior's slow is 30%, where all the other classes, they have a 20% slow. Now, when it comes to damage, the warrior class is the second highest damage dealer in this game. The ranger is the first, then is the priest, and finally the shadowhunter. Very surprising. You would think that the shadowhunter, aka assassin, would have some pretty good damage, but in fact, going through the numbers by the percentages of damage, the shadowhunter actually is the least damage dealing class in this game. Now, the thing that the priest brings to the table that the other classes don't is it's kind of like a different, or kind of like a special AoE damage. Now, relatively speaking, all of the classes have skills that do some kind of like AoE damage, attack on all the enemies, but usually the skills are like in front. So for something like the warrior will jump to an area and it will do damage where it lands, or it will do damage to all the enemies in front of it. But what the priest has is the priest has target AoE damage. So you go ahead and it marks a circle somewhere on the battlefield, and then the fireballs or ice or whatever, some type of animation will do damage in that circle. So as enemies are walking in that circle, or if they are just sitting in that circle, they will continue to take damage. So because of that, the priest is definitely, I would say, the best for PvE content. When I was playing the priest, I was melting mobs like they were nothing. Even though the ranger does have more damage overall, the ranger doesn't have really good like AoE damage. The ranger kind of has like this like weird play style to it, where its AoE damage isn't how the mage is. It's not in like a circle area. The ranger has some insane burst damage, and I don't know if it has to go with like the skill animations, but the ranger has things where like it'll shoot the arrows, it'll come down in a certain order, and you'll see the enemy's damage bar kind of like go, and then it'll go really fast, and then it'll like it's hard to really explain, but if you kind of test out the ranger, you'll see what I mean, where it has like this weird delay to it where it'll have like really high damage all of a sudden, but like the skill animations are kind of weird. Now, one thing that I want to mention with the ranger, and this is really important, is the last skill that the ranger has, it summons this wolf for 8.5 seconds, and it does like up to 550% damage. Now, the skill cooldown for that is 21 seconds, as opposed to all of the other classes where that 5th skill is a 17-second cooldown. However, because this wolf is out for 8.5 seconds, you need to actually subtract that uptime additional pet, I guess you would say, or additional character from that 21 seconds. So subtracting that 8.5 seconds from the overall cooldown of 21, that last skill that the ranger has, it now becomes only a 13-second cooldown skill. If you go through and you look at the other classes' skills, that's 4 seconds lower than all of the other class skills that are 17-second cooldowns. So you are able to spam that wolf out a lot more than the other classes can do their 5th skill, which is kind of like their power skill, because it is the highest damage dealing skill in the game. And the wolf doesn't take any damage at all, so there's no way for like that 8.5 seconds to be sped up. You just kind of summon a wolf, and it just is out there and it's just dealing damage. It doesn't take any damage, it just puts out damage. So because of that, I mean, it is an absolutely insane skill. The final class we'll go over is the Shadowhunter. The Shadowhunter felt really weak as opposed to a lot of the other classes. The Shadowhunter doesn't feel like your traditional assassin class like in a lot of these MMORPGs. It felt like the playstyle was a lot weaker than the other classes. The only thing that the Shadowhunter, I will say, has that the other classes don't is a skill that makes you go invisible, and then you can go ahead and stun the enemy, or you can put out damage from that. But overall, it's not a super duper strong skill. For PvP, that skill can be pretty good, and it can catch your opponents off guard. But usually, like the Shadowhunter or Assassin class is typically one of the top tier PvP classes in these types of games. But for this one, I think the Shadowhunter, the Assassin, I think it's not one of the best PvP classes. I would definitely go with like the Warrior or even the Ranger for PvP. When it comes to PvE content, I would say the Priest is the best. The Shadowhunter, it has some okay skills that do some AoE damage, but again, it always attacks enemies that are like in front of it. It does have some types of skills that'll do like it'll throw like the blades all around you, so you'll get like damage from all the enemies around you. There is one skill that's slightly ranged where you kind of throw your weapons on the ground and they go and then they hit enemies on their path. So it has like a slight combination of mostly melee with like one somewhat kind of ranged skill. But overall, I think the Shadowhunter is like the weakest class in this game, and that's kind of sad to say. Now, my main class is the Warrior. And overall, I'm pretty happy with picking the warrior. If I would have did more research early on, then I probably would have went with the ranger, finding out that it is a better damage dealer. But that is it. I hope you guys and girls enjoyed this video. Hopefully this class overview and talking about this gave you some insight on which class might be best for you, or maybe you want to change your class, or it'll help you kind of understand your class a bit better. Stay happy, stay safe, my friends. I'll see y'all later. Peace.